Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays Dailies in the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. Yesterday I didn't do the daily. It wasn't a political statement or anything, I just ran out of time. But I did check the Reddit thread at like 2 a.m. last night, and apparently there was a divide. Probably like 60% of people were like, it's garbage. 40% of people are like, I re-rolled the first item room 30 times and it became Epic Fetus, which made life a lot easier, apparently. So, kudos to those of you who managed to do that. On April 29th, I came in 64th place, 31,821 points, not bad. And today is a Lilith run that goes to Mom's Heart. Scores are, or sorry, just Mom's Foot. I make that mistake like every time. Scores are bad, but not as bad as you might expect. Like, it looks like the top score right now is around 37,000, which probably indicates that if this goes further than Mom's Foot, then you probably play a self-sacrifice room or something like that, because that, you know, a 37,000 max score is indicative of probably a pretty ridiculous damage penalty. Alternatively, the other option might be that it's just not fast enough to make it the boss rush or something. But 37,000 is a score that people seem to have a relatively easy time getting, even on runs that are relatively bad. So I'm going to assume that today's daily has some strife somewhere along the lines. You know, today's daily's got some questionable stuff going on. But I'm stoked, dude. Like, genuinely. Blue Baby's only friend is actually an excellent item, especially if you were otherwise having problems with your damage. I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but damage ain't one. Alright, Tomo, you may exit. Oh, yeah, Tomo va. Okay, and then beyond that, I think we also are going to get a little risky. Oh, now we're not. Now we're not. I'm an idiot. We're going to leave and not go to that curse room. Previously, I was going to go to the curse room, and in fact, it may still be the right decision, but it's just a little too dicey. That's my bad, but that's fine. I don't feel like, you know, I need to make a statement on dailies or something like that, but I feel like I need to stop building a self-perpetuating narrative, if that makes sense. I've been, you know, a defender of dailies. There's lots of Tinted Rocks here, but a lot of them have been garbage lately, and I think for me getting frustrated that a lot of them have been garbage, I've kind of willed myself into this position of like, we have to talk to Nicholas and get Nicholas to... Nicholas is not a person, by the way, it's just the name of the developer. I understand the confusion inherent there. The strength card is excellent. But I don't really want to be that guy. It's not really a fair thing for me to say, but I just want to vent my criticism with no possible repercussions without becoming like a symbol of like, we need to get this company to change, if that makes sense. I'm going to save this strength card, even though we could use it to get Book of Sin. Like, I have never really wanted to be an activist for the changes that I want to see in Isaac. What I want to do is be entertaining, and I think that to some extent I may have compromised my desire to be entertaining by worrying a little too much about the quality of the dailies. And I think to some extent, you know, that's human nature. I want to rank well, but I also, you know, want to not alienate the people who enjoy watching these videos for other reasons, like perhaps maybe a little bit of a cheerful attitude as part of that. I don't know. So I'm gonna try to be more positive about dailies, and this one, honestly, thus far, is making it pretty easy. If this is a daily where the scores are bad because it's hard to find the seam, what do I care, right? If it's a daily where the scores are bad because you never get a damage upgrade, that's a different story, but we're already at 6.45 damage early on, with a ton of spirit hearts. So I think we gotta also be fair. We gotta meet the company halfway. Sounds like a very corporate shill thing to say, I understand, but sometimes, you know, you gotta accept. Today's daily, at least thus far, actually has all of the things I've complained about fixed from other dailies. Like, for example, we actually have a damage upgrade. Beyond having a damage upgrade, Blue Baby's only friend is amazing. At dealing extra damage, we got basically nothing to complain about right now. So let's just, like, rank first today. That's my goal. A Lover's card is, like, mostly irrelevant for us. That 10 bombs drop, like, has never been a better drop than it was right there. We got so much value out of it. That should not be a secret room. We got so much time, probably. With 5 bombs and a lot of opportunities to find a second secret room, or a lot of areas where it could be, I'm not particularly excited about looking, but I will nonetheless. No, I'm not. I'm actually just gonna go. 2 bombs wasted is enough. We've been to every room except the shop. Let's just get the heck out of here. I still, even though it's open, I do not care about picking up Book of Sin. I'd rather save our strength card to get another deal with the devil later. Hopefully. Hopefully that doesn't end up being the scene. So what's the, like... I'm just gonna avoid saying what's the game plan. Because nobody's making fun of me for it, but I can feel the sea change coming. I'm making fun of myself for it. I think we should play a self-sacrifice room. The one alternative I have not considered is the possibility that the scores are low because the optimal play is to actually use the self-sacrifice room early on. Now, I'd say the odds are relatively good we're going to get a self-sacrifice room later in the game. But it really becomes a question of... large Zit is not very good, in my opinion. It becomes a question of what's the best option for us. Where did that fly come from? Probably just the champion, I guess. What's the best option for us? Taking a stab at it early or getting an AWAS? That's not an AWAS rune. We should try. Puberty's fine. Hematemesis is also completely acceptable. I mean, I kind of want to sacrifice a Spirit Heart to get that, but we'll see how it goes. So here's my thinking right here. Again, avoiding the game plan. Oh, you freaking jerk. Okay. Double Incubus with 6.45 damage is probably better than, like, weirdly asynchronous Blue Baby's Only Friends. But double Blue Baby's Only Friends in sync with one another is probably better than either. This is a boss that is annoying me right now. I do not like you. Moldy Bread is fine. And maybe we'll take both here. Succubus is good. I don't like the way that's looking. Give me a sec here. Succubus is great, not good. Especially with the ability to double it. I like that one. Sister Maggie. I didn't like the item so much, but I like the effect of that room. And let's be honest, you know, if we end up doing boss rush, we are going to be happy. Because we do have, is that going to give us bomb for a key? Not a good trade. Right now, at least. We're going to be happy if we do boss rush because every Sister Maggie is at least a little bit of extra damage. And then if you have 8 Sister Maggies, that's even better. But Hagalaz again. I'd like to use that, honestly, like on this room. It didn't give us Magic Mush, and that's completely okay. Now, I do have to accept that my damage stat right now, my damage penalty is pretty poor. And that's pretty much 100% my own responsibility right now. We've taken some damage I'm not that pleased with. We probably should give up the ghost when it comes to Blue Baby's Only Friend. Like, Incubus plus Succubus is doing a lot of good work right now. We can now afford to check this. That'll open it for free. Gets us a little bit of a rebate, at least. Second puberty pill is very good. As far as I'm concerned, a Horf pill that doesn't hurt us is actually fine. Alright, so let's make our shop worthwhile. We're so far ahead of schedule. Like, it's a very, very fast run. At least right now. And the damage that I've taken is the big negative right now. But if you ignore that... What? If you ignore that, we're in a really good spot. Okay, there were 4 secret room locations that made sense here. Oh my god, you're gonna leave me 1 cent shy of being able to get something? Buy the card. Let the rhythm take you over. Buy the card. Tequiero, Mamma Mia. What does he say in that song? I can't remember. I don't... That's Bailamos by Enrique Iglesias, of course, in case you've forgotten the words of our Lord and Savior, Enrique. I chose not to take the Eternal Heart just because of the damage penalty, and it might cost me 2 Spirit Hearts to get it, depending on my speed. So, you're going to think that this is ridiculous. Bailamos, of course. I'm sure it was on Enrique Iglesias' 18th album or something like that. But it was also track 2 on the Wild Wild West soundtrack, which is how I became intimately familiar with it. I heard it on the radio yesterday. You know, I was in the car and it was tuned to whatever the, like, there's probably like 6 pop radio stations in Vancouver, but it was turned to one of the pop radio stations. And played like one song I had never heard before in my life, to the best of my knowledge, and then they played Bailamos, and I was like, yeah, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. Do I think Bailamos is a good song? No, not necessarily, but you're operating under the assumption that, you know, I listen to music that I find good, when instead it's really just to invoke either a feeling of nostalgia or irony, depending on, you know, how I'm feeling that day. I mean, 5 extra bombs is not anything to shake a stick at. What is something to shake a stick at? The list is pretty short. Piñatas? I guess if you were really going for a complex deke in the shootout of an NHL hockey game, potentially. I'm gonna check this again. I have seen some people, they complain about curse rooms on dailies, and that is something I disagree with, because I think curse rooms, the sentiment as it came up effectively was like, you know, how are you ever supposed to know if curse rooms are like the right idea or the wrong idea? And I feel you on that one. It does suck that, you know, you can have some runs where not going into a curse room costs you a deal with the devil that gives you mega or something like that and just leaves you high and dry. But I think that's kind of in the spirit of dailies. A daily with no damage, I mean, that's like, you know, Mars Needs Moms. It's just a tragedy waiting to happen, right? But the curse rooms and the inherent variance there, I understand. Like, I want dailies to be good. Almost always. But I don't want them to compromise the sort of, like, decision-making process. Dude, I hate these small enemies. And even something like this, run right here where I'm like, you know, I don't love the fact that I've got to look for a seam so hard right now, but it's a blank rune. I think you take strength for now, and then you accept that the blank rune is something you want to take from this floor onwards. But it is a tough decision, admittedly. So I'm still in the bad habit of using mostly the blue baby's only friend, which we should not be doing. That's fine, that's fine. Temperance. Temperance plus strength has potential for us, but it's not what we want to do. But we want to take blank card from this point onwards, after this deal with the devil, which we probably will not get, but could get. And the reason for that is that it could be AWAS. And it actually illustrates the point that I'm trying to get across, which is, I like that kind of like treasure hunting aspect of dailies. At least when there's a positive outcome somewhere on the run. Hematemesis is actually also great if we can find the second secret room. I was looking for the regular secret room there. Oh, I really thought that was a regular secret room. That would find it. That would find the secret room if it were there. Okay, so we really want to, especially with Bible Tract, create a bunch of Eternal Hearts right here. I'll tell you what. Work with me here, and I'll be extremely happy. Thank you. It's tough because we need a self-sacrifice room. And in order to justify a self-sacrifice room, we need HP. But in order for us to get further into the game, I mean, we probably... It's tough. Like, Steam Sale, I don't know if that's even the right call right now. Because, we're definitely not going to go to the Hush fight. So, honestly, this room might be as tough as our boss. So that's why I popped it here. And we're not even... Well, we're close to being behind schedule, but we're not behind schedule. So I'm not sweating it. But we have kind of conflicting desires right now, you know? It's like a Jonathan Demme film. We got the desire to get as much HP as possible. We still could use the strength card right here. But we also have the desire to get a seam, which usually requires either a teleport card or a rune of some, you know, some value. So Blank Rune, it only has like a 1 in 9 chance or 1 in 11 chance or something to be the rune that we want it to be, but a 9% chance to get that is sort of worth it. Over a strength card. We did get a deal with the devil, by the way, so we made the right decision here. Pop the strength card, take Goat Head, take the ability to fly, which also is a speed upgrade, I think. Now we've got 100% odds of the deal with the devil. And we're going to go back. We're going to hold Blank Rune. And I am holding this over, or I'm holding Box of Friends over Guppy's head. The reasoning for that is basically that Boss Rush exists. When oh, that was so lucky. When I do Boss Rush, I'm going to be happy to have what we do have here. Now, there's probably some consumables we couldn't get before. So do not fear those. I can see forever. Irrelevant right now, but always nice to get more information. And we should move on now. We've done our part on this floor. I think we've done quite well to do so. I'm just going to blow this guy up and hope for the best. It's fine. Instead, we'll just buy that and move on. Again, we keep sacrificing HP, and sacrificing HP is going to lead to problems. You know, we are going to find it hard to play a self-sacrifice room in 2 floors. But we're still in this, and that's the important part. All we need is like a relic, and then use the relic. I mean, you don't use it, it's passive, you get the idea. Like, do Boss Rush with the relic, and all of a sudden, your HP is probably going to be completely fine. But we need a teleport card to get out of there as well, so I don't know. Right now, the way I see this run going is us finishing at like 17,000 points, which is not going to compete well. Why are we so fast right now? What's making us... I didn't have 2 speed before, did I? Am I losing my mind? Well, let's think about the other ways we can make it through here. Blank Rune is good, potentially. It's at least something. But AWAS is better. So if we can get a literal AWAS rune, which we could do by blowing up a skull, we'd be happy. It's a very common secret room location here. Please don't give me a second Steam sale. That's all I ask. Give me the money. I already passed up 1 Steam sale. Ah! Maybe this affected the causality of the run. You know, maybe we wouldn't have gotten the second Steam sale if we bought the first, but that hurts a little bit. Although without restock, it's not the be-all, end-all. Still a bit of a bummer. So why 17,000? Well, right now it just feels like, you know, this is a run where we get to Boss Rush, which usually happens around 13,000, and then you get 4,000 points for finishing. You know, it is what it is there. We should have enough money to get something from our shop. Blank card, Blank Rune would... I mean, maybe that's where this run gets a little dicey, is forcing us to give up our best, you know, Boss Rush enabler in the form of Box of Friends in order to get to the next floor. The other thing is we could get rid of Blank Rune to teleport out of Boss Rush after we finish it and then go to self-sacrifice. I'm probably going over some stuff that you're like, yeah, you know, we read the required readings before we signed up for this introductory Isaac course. Why does an introductory course have required readings? Maybe because they expect you to be a well-rounded scholar, okay? I'm laying the groundwork for the drama that's going to happen over the course of this run, because I mean, we still need to go faster as well. Because this is a dicey situation right now, and things are going to start to move pretty fast, I think. Pretty Fly is good. Tears Up is great. In fact, they might both be great. I'm not trying to single out one over the other. Yeah, we're effectively behind schedule, but I've got faith. I don't want to get too salty already, but I sort of feel like these have been the largest floors I've ever seen in my life, unless I'm missing something. Is today International The Floors Take 100 Years Day or something? Good one. So I'm going to skip the item room. Because we have to. Boss Rush is non-negotiable on dailies whenever possible, so as long as we still have a chance, I'm going to be gunning for it. We need these as well for self-sacrifice. Okay, let's go. Keep in mind, okay, we don't want that, but we do have a deal with the devil. If the deal with the devil item is good, take it. If it's junk, you know, let it go. We might need the HP desperately. It's good, but I don't think it's good enough to justify the 3 Spirit Heart loss. Okay. Okay, this is where things start to get extremely real. Right, you are a real creature as well. We do want that. But if it's not 100% necessary, we're going to save it because we can just get it after we teleport. And I know you're going to say to yourself, NL. You might even say it to me on Twitter or some other such social networking platform. What if you don't get a teleport? Then you're going to lose Skinny Odd Mushroom. Yeah, but like then the run is over. So that's okay. So here's what you do here. You Yera. You pop Onsus. You pop the Gaz, obviously. But you pop Onsus so you can see where you're going. Where's it? We have another Dagaz in here? Yes. Then you take the blank rune with you. And then I know there's other runes back there. You know, like we could have the second Onsus, but we don't need a second Onsus. What we need is an Awaz. They didn't give us an Awaz. So we're kind of stuck. Actually, like, not salty about that. Even if we make it to boss rush with no way out, shouldn't be too alarmed. I am gonna be an idiot, by the way. I thought that might... It is a secret room, I just misplaced the bomb. And by be an idiot, I basically just mean I'm gonna go to the item room. And I don't think it's particularly strong, but that's okay. We aren't gonna go to the shop. We just don't quite have the time, realistically, I think. And, you know, of course I would love to get the key there, but we're really in, like, some mission-critical timing here. I've always thought of it as a weakness, but maybe it's a strength that, I fairly consistently seem to, like, exactly make the dailies with enough, or make the boss rush with enough time to get there. So what's the game plan? I said game plan. Crap. I don't want to pop Box of Friends unless we have to. I don't think we're going to have to. But the more time we can get, you know, Succubus to deal damage, the better. The question becomes, do we fight Krampus? 7 bombs? No, Goathead is going to keep the door open. So we should not fight Krampus. What we should do is grab this just in case. Probably you go Midas Touch, but first pop Blank Rune. It's an Algiz, which is great, but we might be screwed. Except that there's another Blank Rune back there. So really, we don't need Algiz to be amazing for us. We just need it to give us survivability until we're able to use our Box of Friends enough times to just ball out of control. Thank you for 2 speed. That's helpful. Okay, don't just walk into the enemy. That's a bit of a silly play. Pop Blank Rune. It's Burkano. We got another Blank Rune out of it. Pop it again. Why not, dude? It's another Algiz. Again, that's fine. We did not get another play, though. So this conceivably could be the end of this run. And if it is, I'm gonna be fairly bummed. We've done like everything. Oh, you know what? There could still be a shovel in the Devil Room. But I think we've done everything right except for finding the seam, which means that, you know, we haven't done the most important things right potentially. But it would still be a super bummer. Try to get as many of these things in line as possible. And the other thing we could do is stack up a bunch of Blue Baby's Only Friends, but I'm not sure if that's the right call right now. Come on, drop some consumables. I don't know where the consumables are going to drop from, but just drop them. We've still got, like, so much damage being done here thanks to, like, the Succubus army. Even though it's taken me, I wouldn't say longer than expected, but, you know, it's kind of... It's not quite as much of a stomp as I would have expected. That's because, you know, we've got so many familiars there. They're all lined up pretty weirdly next to one another. But the Succubuses are going to help us out a lot. Like, they will probably just kill the frail, or not the frail, the hollow here. The gate, slightly more annoying, but life goes on. So, okay, let's not get twisted here. What are the ways that we get out of this situation? Any teleport item as our boss rush reward, the shovel from our deal with the devil, or a deal with the devil that gives us a teleport card somehow, or the ability to teleport. I'm trying to think of what could actually fulfill that. And I'm coming up with a blank, but I'm not ready to give up hope yet. But honestly, today's daily is a blessing either way. Because at least we stomped. You know, we've got great damage, we had a lot of fun, we got to talk about Enrique Iglesias' magnum opus, Bailamos, and you know what? We may have been outsmarted today. That's fine. It just motivates me to do better in the future. We're probably closing in on being done. So you should be a little careful here because, say, the most plausible way for us to rank well today is to not take any more damage. But I'm still holding out the slightest bit of hope for this seam. Wonderful. Okay, what do you got for me? What do you got for me in here? Okay. Well, we'll be in the 20s probably. We gotta go. There's nothing else I can do here. 21,000. That puts us 88th. So the seam must have been very difficult to find. But still, you know what? I'm inclined to give this daily a thumbs up. For now, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But for now, thanks for watching. And I'll see you next time.